Hello people of the internet, this is Mir TV, today with a full Bundesliga prediction for the 2015-2016 season. Let's go. So the way I'm going to do this is by looking at which team I think will be last, and then go up from there. So we'll start with the team that I believe will come in 18th place, which is SV Darmstadt 98. Now, while they did an incredible job last season of getting promoted to the first league, I don't think they have what it takes to stay up, just because there's a huge difference in terms of quality between the first and the second league. So I do believe that SV Darmstadt 98 will be relegated and they will go back to the second league, where they will do well. Now the team that I believe will come into 17th place will be Ingolstadt 04. Now the reason why I do believe that is, as I mentioned with Darmstadt, they are a good team, but I don't think they have what it takes to just, go that one extra step further and be able to stay in the first league. So that's what I believe, that they will get relegated again, and they'll take the 17th place. Now in 16th place, I think that it will be Hamburg. I've got a few friends in Hamburg, but I don't think they have what it takes to be able to get rid of the relegation places, so they'll be in the relegation playoff again, which they will win. But I do see Hamburg being close to the edge again, just because they have sold quite a few players, but they haven't really bought in anyone. So I do think that's what they need to do. The summer transfer period is still open, so we'll see what they do. But that's what I believe. I think they need to strengthen the team a little if they want to stay in the Bundesliga successfully without being in the relegation playoffs. The team that I believe will be in 15th place is Hertha Berlin. Now, while Hertha Berlin are generally considered an okay side to okay goodish side, they have really underachieved last season, and since they've not shown any progress since, I can't really say that they've improved. So I think they'll finish the same position as they did last season, which is the 15th place. Now in 14th place, I believe that it will be Hannover 96. Now, I believe that Hannover 96 will fail to keep the position that they did last time, and I think they will drop by one position, just because I believe that Stuttgart has done quite good business, and I believe that Stuttgart, they've bought their young players such as Timo Werner. They will really have a breakout season this year, making the club finish a lot higher. So Hannover 96 will be in 14th place. That leaves Stuttgart in 13th place. As I've said, I think that Timo Werner will have a great season. I saw him play for the Germany under-19, and I believe that he is a great player that will make a huge difference. I believe Mainz will finish in 12th place, just because that is about the position that they usually finish at. So I don't think they've brought in too many good players, I don't think they've sold too many good ones. So they'll just finish there, they'll just stay at that position, and they'll be happy. In 11th place, I see Cologne. Just because that would be a great position for them, one position higher than they were last time, and I do believe that will be a great achievement for them, as well as a great outlook to the future. In 10th place, I see Eintracht Frankfurt, just because I believe that last season Alex Meyer really had a great season until he got injured. So I believe they just outscored their opponents, which is a good way to go. But if Alex Meyer will have to keep the form from last season and transfer it into this season. And if he's able to do that, then I do believe they'll finish higher. But the chances of that happening are really slim. And that's why I believe that Eintracht Frankfurt will finish in 10th place. Werder Bremen will finish in 9th place. They're overall an okay team that has okay defense, okay attack, okay midfield. And I think that an okay team will help them over the greatest lifespan of a whole season. And that's why I believe that they will finish 9th. In 8th place, I believe Hoffenheim will finish around that place. They've sold Firmino. They've got quite a few bit of money from him. They didn't have money problems before that in the first place. But it will be interesting to see what they spend that money on. If they can invest it wisely, they will definitely finish higher than 8th place. But if they can't, then they won't. In 7th place, I see Augsburg staying in that place. They finished 5th place last season, but I do think that having to focus both on the Europa League and the Bundesliga will be difficult for them, and that's why I believe they will drop 2 places down to 7th place. But I think Marcus Vansel is a great coach, and I think that he can still make them finish beyond what they should. I see Schalke finishing in the 6th place. That will be the same position as last time. Now, the reason why I think they will finish that low in terms of where they would expect themselves to be is just because I've seen how they played in their training matches and against other smaller teams. And if you can't win against smaller teams, I know it's just pre-season, but it gives you a good indicator how the team will work throughout the season. That's why I think Schalke will finish 6th place until they can really strengthen their team in the areas they need, which is a solid midfielder and maybe a second striker, because Choupo-Moting and Huntelaar, they've been working great together, but they've also been struggling when the other one was injured. So I think that's one of the areas that they need to strengthen on. In 5th place, I see Bayer Leverkusen finish there, and that is just because they have brought in great players such as Kramer, and their coach is absolutely fantastic. But, and here is the big but, they have been reliant on essentially 3 main players, which are Bellarabi, Son, and Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Now, the problem with those 3 players is that they work great, but are all still very young. So it's similar to how Schalke relies on young players, and that is what cost Leverkusen last season. The young players didn't have the nerves of steel. Now, I do believe that Brandt will have a really great season. I do believe that Leverkusen will be fighting for that 4th position until the end of the season, but I just think they'll be edged for not having a pure clinical striker. I don't consider Kiesling that great of a striker, and that's why I don't think that they'll be able to break into the top 4, but I think they'll be maybe a point or 2 points behind, and they'll finish in 5th, which gives them Europa League, which I think it would be better for them, just because that way they can improve their young players, and they can focus on winning that. That leaves 4th place, which is Borussia Dortmund in my opinion. I think that Borussia Dortmund will break into the top 4. I have seen Tuchel, I have seen how Dortmund play with Tuchel, and I think that they will do well. They don't have a pure out-and-out striker, but Aubameyang has proven last season that he can fill in as a striker role. Royce has even played striker with Tuchel, and in general they've tied up their defence. They've done well in attack, and overall the team looks really balanced, and with the addition of the players that they've brought in, I think that they can do a great job. Castro is a fantastic player, and I do believe that Kagawa, Royce, Aubameyang will be too much to handle for all the other teams. And that's why I think they will break into the top 4, especially with the defence that they've tightened up now. They will make it in top 4, and they will be a serious threat in the following seasons to come. In 3rd place, I see Wolfsburg. Yes, I don't see Wolfsburg being the quote-unquote Bayernjäger. I do think Wolfsburg will become 3rd, just because I believe the one thing that they lack is a pure striker. And they've been linked to Chicharito today. So if they can get him, he is more of a sub kind of player, but I do think that he will add a lot more to what they need, a pure striker, because Bentner, he's the Lord. I thought that's all there needs to be said. He is Lord Bentner, but he is just he's just too humble to grace us with his presence. And Dost, who has exploded last season, let's be fair here, he's exploded last season, but, and here's the big but, he is not your striker that's going to get you 20-25 goals a season, which you need for a top club. So I think that he'll struggle. I think that although they've got De Bruyne, and De Bruyne can make the world of difference, I do see Wolfsburg, unless they get a pure striker, only ending 3rd. If they get Chicharito, I think that's a great step in the right direction. I think Chicharito will be better than Dost, but I do think that they need someone really prolific, someone that can make the world of difference. Someone that Dortmund used to have when they were the quote-unquote Bayernjäger, when they had Lewandowski. I think that if Wolfsburg can slash the cash, which, let's face it, they've got, on somebody like Cavani, somebody really high profile, somebody really great, maybe Lacazette, then they can definitely finish 2nd. But until they get a pure striker, they'll finish 3rd. And that's the position I see them ending up as. In 2nd position, I see Borussia Mönchengladbach finish. Now, Borussia Mönchengladbach, they have strengthened in defence. Last season, they were probably the 2nd best defence in the Bundesliga, which, I think Favre has done a fantastic job at. I do think that what they're doing is right. Right now, the transfers they've spent the money on is just young players. So now they can develop the young players in the Champions League while they use their regular players. in the Bundesliga, and I think that's the correct way to approach going into the Champions League. I don't think you should buy big names for your first season or second season when you're going into the Champions League, because you want to be able to sustain that level, and you don't want to just buy the players and then when you want to drop out of this Champions League, the players want to leave. So I do think what they've done is right. I do think what they've done is correct, and that's why Borussia Mönchengladbach, I think they'll finish second. They've bought a striker, which is what they needed. Kruse wasn't as great last season. He was actually rather poor last season. Like I said, the defense has been awesome. The midfield has been great as well. Xhaka has been awesome, and they've just been bossing it. And they were really unfortunate, in my opinion, to finish third. They're only 3 points behind Wolfsburg, so yeah, 1 game won, 1 game lost, and they could have been second. And I think this time they will finish second. So Borussia Mönchengladbach will finish second, but that will leave Bayern Munich finishing first. Bayern Munich, I think that is too much for everyone. They have probably the best striker in the league with Lewandowski, one of the top 5 strikers in the world. They also have a world-class midfield. Yes, Schweinsteiger has left, but we still have Alonso, we still have Thiago, we still have Alaba, Lam, Rafinha, all players that can play in midfield. And I do think, since Pep wants to play with a single pivot, that Alonso will play in midfield quite a lot, with Alaba coming in, with Alaba rotating with him. So Alaba will be the pivot in one match, and in his other match he'll just be a left back or a left midfielder, left wing back. They've just got too much. Let's face it, we just got too much. So I do think that our strikers are pretty great, Müller and Lewandowski. I do think our wingers now are solid. I don't think we need to bring in another player. It would be great, but I don't think that's absolutely necessary, just because we have Costa who can fill in both on the right and on the left, and then we have Bernat who can fill on the left. So, Müller can play on the right as well, which he did in 2012-2013. Then we also have amazing defenders, such as Boateng, Benatia, Batstuber, Xavi, Alaba, Bernat, Lam, Rafinha. So I think we're solid. We're the best keeper in the world, in Neuer, in goal. So I'd be a little bit shocking if we don't finish first, but I do see it not being as close as it was in previous years, just because I think the top 4, even the top 6, have seriously improved, and that could be dangerous. That could be really dangerous. So I think it won't be as close as it was last. I think it will be similarly close as it was last time, just maybe a little bit closer. So last season we finished, we won by 10 points, and that was obviously because at the end of the season we dropped our form and then we started losing matches. But I think this time it will be just in a similar fashion, just throughout the whole season. So I think we'll maybe be 6, maybe 9 points away. But that's about it. I don't see it being a huge difference. And that's just the way I see it. Tell me what you guys think. This was the full Bundesliga prediction of the 2015-2016 season. This was your host, Prince Kuschler. And as always, you can rate, comment, favorite and subscribe to Mir San Mir TV. Peace out, have a nice day, and bye.